Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a completely unplanned stream. Give me 1 second. What is this? Get out. Get out of here. No? Yeah? No? There we go. It's gone. Holy clickbait title. Am I right? But it's for a reason, because I want you guys to sort of have a full understanding of what's happening right now. I understand that this is not a great time to do a stream. Nobody knew it was going to happen. Even my moderator had no idea. I just sort of went, you know what? This is happening now. So Rennie might show up at some point and be like, what are you doing? Why didn't you tell me? But, so basically, some of you already know what's happening. I'm sure there are plenty of you who don't. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure that's not Rennie yelling at me. It is not. All right, great. I know, like, go nuts. Don't go nuts. I can still moderate from where I am. So, completely unplanned. I don't even know what I'm going to do other than just talk to you guys about this, answer your questions. Essentially, what is happening appears to possibly be longer than it might appear in my comment section as recently. I'm going to go back as far as CP. Now, CP was a bit of a troll. Not one of my first trolls, but certainly one of the more recent ones that made a name for themselves. And CP was upset that I was accepting donations. They're saying, you are a government employee. You're already getting paid through tax money, which is provided by citizens of the United States. They weren't as eloquent about it, but this is basically what I assume they were talking about. They were upset that I was getting paid by people twice, basically. You're already taking taxes. Why are you also taking their donations? And my explanation was, the only time I'm paid with taxes is when I'm doing National Guard stuff. And those taxes are only generally from Washington State. So if you don't live in Washington State, it's nothing to worry about. If you do live in Washington State, you still get to decide whether or not you donate to this channel. That is an option you can do. If you don't want to donate, don't donate. It's really that simple. So CP got very, very upset and got more upset that I was sassy towards them. That I was just like, no, I'm not going to back down because your logic is flawed and your whole thing is nonsense. I don't agree with you. I don't agree with the way that you are trying to come at me about this, right? There's a civil discussion that could be had, but that was not how they instigated the conversation or initiated the conversation. Never appeared to be something they wanted to do. Have a civil discussion about it. They wanted to say their piece and be right about it. Now, those of you who know me, I get sassy. You come and you attack me, I'm generally going to stand up to it. And I'm going to just be sassy. I don't tend to insult people unless they've been doing this for a long time, in which case I will stoop to their level. But they have to hit that level first. So CP did their whole thing. They eventually started making claims that there were rape allegations or charges against me, that I had committed domestic violence. None of that is true. I've never committed those crimes. I've never been suspected of those crimes. I've never been investigated for those crimes. None of that is true. So, Robert, I appreciate that. Robert says you weren't pointing a gun at us to get us to donate. We donate to support your channel. I really appreciate that you guys are doing that. So, and I'll get to you, Matt. I think you had a thing. Let me finish my ramblings, because all this is going to be is just ramblings, as per usual. So, CP started making false allegations, something I've never done or been accused of doing or been investigated for. After a bunch of sort of poking and prodding, CP eventually said, look, I don't know anything about it, despite, I believe, saying that they had evidence. I don't know anything about it. I saw other people commenting this. Well, that's not true. I would remember people commenting that sort of thing. I am very much engaged in my comment section. I get all the notifications. If I hit 15,000 subscribers, that may change because I feel like at that point it might be a little much. But I am still very active within the comment section community because I want to be able to answer questions. I want to be able to continue to help people even after the video is over. So, I don't remember seeing any of that, and that is something I would remember. I think they were trying to get themselves an out. They eventually gave themselves the out. They withdrew. They said, look, I'm done. It was all a joke, something. I assume they said that. I'm pretty sure they said that. And they backed out. They deleted a lot of their comments, not all of their comments, and then changed their name to Margaret on the Guillotine, if I remember correctly. There's something on the Guillotine. I'm almost certain it was Margaret. And I'll pause there to thank Matt Bond for his donation. Thank you so much, Matt. Matt says, it's my money. I do what I want. Hey, Soup, how's it going? Thank you so much. So, anyway. Oh, Outlaw 2 as well says, got a guy in chat spamming racial slurs. A seer. Let me pause to... Yes, you are correct. Well, give me 1 second. Kim, thank you so much. Says, I will donate if I want to, and CP and YouTube can kiss my butt. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Let me see what I can do about stopping those comments, other than saying, hey, Acer, can you not do the whole race and racist comments thing? Appreciate it. For some reason, it's not cooperating. So we might just have to live with it, and then I'll do something about it later. Let's see. Timothy Wilson, thank you so much. Says, my wife, Karen. Hi, Karen. Nothing against you. Hi. Says, appreciate your kind words. Thank you so much. So, I don't know where Rennie is, by the way. Anyway, so that's CP. CP deleted a bunch of comments, not all of them. So we were still able to see what CP had changed the name to, because when you reply to comments in the comment section, basically the comment links to their channel ID. And so it will update with whatever their name is that they change it to. Hi, Rennie. So Rennie just showed up. Yeah, no, this just happened. It just happened. I would have told you, but, you know. mcaddicts, thank you so much. I'm not American, so you don't get my taxes. Half a donation, eh? Oh, thanks about that, eh? Really kind of you. Have some Tim Hortons for you. Sorry if that was offensive. Thank you so much. Anyway, so that's CP. CP was, I think, the start of all of this. CP eventually backed out. Was very upset that I kept bringing them up. But, you know, their conduct on my channel was public. And so I referenced them as sort of a what not to do, and also as a here's why I'm doing this. So that was a while ago. That ended, I would say, a few weeks ago. And then a guy called Frankly showed up. And I had no reason to believe that they were the same person. I do have a phone, Rennie. You are right. I messaged you in Discord, and you didn't respond. I went, you're probably busy. I won't worry you about it. But hey, it worked out. Anyway, so Frankly shows up, and this is after I put out some Karen commentary, little short videos. And I'm doing the short videos because I'm also doing the filming for the Hunting the Dead Gary Ridgway stuff. So, you know, time being a finite resource, I can't do as many long videos as I would like, although I do have many of them scripted and ready to go. It's just a matter of time. So they were upset that I was doing this Karen thing. They said, you're being sexist, you're being, you know, you're a bully, you're all these things. So I basically explained, like, look, first, okay, I was a little sassy in my initial explanation because they came at me very intensely for what it didn't need to be as intense. I'm not saying they were, like, super intense, but it was definitely, they could have handled it better. They could have approached me better. So I went, no, this isn't sexism. Karen is not, and I explained this in my last stream, Karen is not limited to one gender. Karen is a term that is used to apply to people who are excessively entitled to the point of criminal activity, potentially. And so I was going through these compilations of Karens, many of which had men as the Karens, and saying, is what they're doing actually illegal, or is it just, you know, they're having a moment? Frankly, didn't like that. Frankly said I was making fun of disabled people, which I'm not saying, that's certainly not my intent. I cannot diagnose these people as having some sort of disability. However, that does not change the legality of what they're doing, because I'm not addressing whether or not they're Karens. I'm addressing whether or not these people who have already been labeled Karens by someone else are committing crimes. So, I feel like that is a good bit of information to have as far as, these public interactions. What should you do when you find yourself in them? If you are either the recipient of that behavior or the person who is engaging in that behavior, when do you stop? When do you call the police? When is it a crime? So that's basically what I was doing. They did not like that at all. And I will pause here to thank Enchanted Wolf. Thank you so much. Enchanted Wolf says, I'm an adult. It's my money. I'll donate if I want. Keep up the good work. I appreciate that. Jeffrey B, thank you so much, says, I have never donated. Oh, wait, it just went away. I've never donated to any YouTube chat. I am now donating on behalf of CP and his group. The more he complains, the more I hope he will donate. That's fair. That's fair. I'm not going to encourage you necessarily, although I have in the past, to donate to make CP upset. But I will tell you that donating appears to make CP upset. And if Frankly and CP are the same person, well, there you go. But we'll get to that. So Frankly got upset. Frankly showed up in my stream where I reviewed the Karen compilations and wanted to have a discussion. But the discussion ended up them saying that I'm fat, that my bra is too tight. Basically just a bunch of insults. That wasn't a discussion. That was insults unrelated to what it could have been. We could have actually hashed this out and been like, what? Tell me why you feel this way. They didn't want to do that, and I'm sure I didn't provide the most welcoming environment for it, but they made that bed. They made that bed before they showed up to the stream. I do not apologize for it. I do not apologize for my conduct in regards to Frankly on that stream, because my conduct did not meet the level of their conduct, and therefore I think that's a win. Do I enjoy behaving that way? Not necessarily. Am I upset when I truly believe that a person deserves to have a little sass? No. But now we're getting into opinions rather than facts, so I'm going to not keep going down that train of thought in the interest of, tangents and whatnot. But basically, Frankly sort of stopped. I want to say Frankly made some... Frankly made some claims that they had documents that showed that I never served in the military, that I was never active duty, that I wasn't this, I wasn't that. Did not provide any proof of anything despite people asking. They just went, it's in the pipeline, it's on the way, I'm waiting for a court case. None of this is true, by the way. They do not have documents that establish I was never in the military. I have the documents here that establish I was in the military. I'm literally sitting on a military sleeping bag right now. Anyone who's in the military, any Army soldiers will recognize this. Anyone, from the last decade probably will recognize this as a military sleeping bag. It's just, I happen to be sitting on it. I have an assault pack with a ACH hooked up to it. If I wasn't in the military, I'm spending a lot of money pretending to be. I'm doing it a lot better than Jeremy did. Yeah, I just have a bunch of gear back there. So I'm not going to show you the documents because they aren't redacted. They're the originals. And last time I showed someone documents, they used it to try to get me fired. So that's not going to happen unless I absolutely believe it's necessary. But they made a bunch of claims and they sort of poof, disappeared. That would have been a couple days ago, I think. When did Frankly last make a comment? I don't know because their channel's deleted. We'll get to that. So then a channel pops up yesterday with my logo and my name, commenting on my channel saying, well, actually, I'd like to make a confession. I was investigated for this. I am a bully. I never served in the military. I never did this. And to the untrained eye, that might appear to be me. It is not. I reported it immediately, took a screenshot of it, and then it just poof, disappeared. Like, was YouTube that quick about it? I don't know. I made a post saying that violates copyright law, which it does. Because they used the exact image that I created. And as the creator, I don't have to file anything. I own that copyright. Now, if it was a trademark, for example, like Vogue, right? Vogue is trademarked because it's not really an image. It's a name, right? That would require some extra registering. That image is not. I own that copyright. And so copyright law, that's a civil issue, though. Defamation as well, claiming to be me, making defamatory statements, lying. This is all civil stuff and it's grounds for a civil suit, basically. And I let them know, I gave them like a little cease and desist in the comments. Was it like a super official and rock solid? No. But was it something? Yes. And then poof, channel went away. And then it came back. Another one was created. And they responded to something, and they were gone within like a minute. I think I posted that one today. Then a new channel called Homosexuality popped up and continued to basically promote the same rhetoric. And then that one went silent. And another one popped up called Mr. US, or Mr. Flag Emoji. And then they continued the same rhetoric. I checked the Frankly account. That one had been deleted. CP had been deleted. So it kind of feels like channels are being deleted and then new ones are being created. And it may all be the same person. I don't know. Zero idea. However, I have been in contact with YouTube to say, hey, what do you need from me? What do I, should I get a lawyer to, write an official request? Do I need to get the police aren't going to get involved because it is a civil issue. And this person, CP, claimed to be in Scotland. Homosexuality stated that they were not in the United States, which leads me to believe that they are CP. And then Mr. US, same deal, basically. Seems to be the same account, same rhetoric. And they're never active at the same time. So they were active right around now, which is why I just went to my camera and said, hey, let's do this. Right now, what Mr. US is doing, first, besides getting it wrong that I cannot sue them from a different country, because that is not true. I just get if this is in Scotland, I'd get a Scottish lawyer. If they're just using a VPN to pretend to be in Scotland, that's very traceable. Very, very traceable. And that's easy. This VPN thing is good against like a computer script. It's not as good against a person who is investigating. Fortunately, I've done that, and I know who to contact to make that happen as part of an official investigation. The problem is, figuring out what I can get from YouTube without initiating the initial investigation to sort of make it a more direct thing.
That's not a firearm, Sergeant! 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 Oh, Sergeant!
Better determination as to how I want to proceed. But what Mr. US is doing at this point is saying that they have found an ex of mine, I assume ex-girlfriend, because I've only dated women, nothing against dating men, it's just personal preference, and that they are going to tell the truth. They're going to expose me and my lies. Well, that's not true, because nothing I've said about any relationship I've ever had, which I don't think I've really ever talked about, has been a lie. But they're saying Tuesday. First they said Wednesday. Now they're saying Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. They're going to reveal it all. But every time one of these other channels said they were going to reveal everything, they disappear before that time rolls around. Kind of weird, right? Anyway. So I'm looking forward to meeting my ex-girlfriend for the first time. And they're like, oh, well, I'll just file a counterclaim because you think I'm being defamatory. Like, no, you don't have grounds for a counterclaim. It's a whole thing. It's a whole mess. And so I want to go live and say, hey, Frankly, or Homosexuality, or CP, or the two channels of me that no longer exist, or Mr. US, show up in my live chat. Give us the evidence. Why wait? Because surely you've made these accusations after acquiring the evidence. Surely you didn't just say, I'm going to get the evidence, I'll make the accusations now. Because that's not how that works. You got to have the evidence before making this statement. Crazy how that works, right? I feel like that's pretty common sense. But I thought, well, let's do this. Oh, I have a box here of camera pieces. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Like I said, I didn't prepare for this. Now, while we wait for one of them to show up, if one of them shows up, let me go through some.
That's not a firearm, Sergeant! 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 Oh, Sergeant!
Smash a cup already, but I like this cup. No. I don't want to actually smash anything for this, because if this does come to a legal battle of some sort, I don't want to be promoting myself as an aggressive person in regards to this situation. When it comes to smashing things on the DeWitt videos, that's purely entertainment. But this is real. I'm legitimately looking into civil action I mean, there are a lot of things I have to do before that decision is finalized, either whether or not I want to do it. Because I have a case. I do have a case. This does affect me. This does affect my channel. What they're saying is a lie. The fact that they're impersonating me to say lies. Like, I have an incredibly strong case. Like, absolutely bonkers. I think Scotland is pretty good about, if it is Scotland, is pretty good about, slander and libel and defamation lawsuits. So, let me go over some of these donations. James K, thank you so much. Just because Rennie is awesome. Rennie is awesome. Rennie, I still owe you that pizza. She sent me a message like, you buying me a pizza today? I'm like, what? She's like, you can buy me, you're always saying I'll buy you dinner. I'm like, oh, do you want me to buy you dinner? And she goes, I'm just joking. Like, I'll do it. What's happening? Anyway, she's great. I tried buying her some like Kobe beef steaks a while back, and she just would not let me. It's going to happen. How long has this stream been going? It's been going for about 20 minutes. We're just keeping it nice and calm and cool. Just a nice little low energy. Just need some nice just music behind me. But I don't have any. So, anyway, just going through the comments. I'm looking for Frankly. I'm looking for Frankly or Mr. US or any of them. Well, not Frankly. Frankly's channel has disappeared weirdly. Let me see. Corrections 101, thank you so much. Good to see you here. Towards a civil suit? You bet. I'll definitely go in the fund. Artys Corporate Fiction. Who's attacking my brother in arms? Let's go! I got your email, by the way, and I laughed. I did play the song, the whatever farewell. I know it starts with an A, and it's in there, and it's a good song, and I played it while reading your note. Artie and I have been emailing each other because I'm hoping to collaborate, and I sent an email, basically like a civil war, like, oh, dear sir, I contact you from the battlefield. Oh, these fools, it's a whole thing. I wrote it better than that, I promise. And Artie kept the spirit of that alive and responded very similarly, and it's great, and it's going to happen. We're going to do it, I hope. But, yeah, it's great. So, where was I? I was reading through comments. I'm just chilling. How's it going? I mean, you guys got any questions for me? I'll answer them. Hank's Corner, thank you so much. Says, you are so loved, we back the blue. And I'm sorry, that's Rochelle. I'll read that one first. Thank you so much, Rochelle. It skips. It just bloop up and down. I appreciate that. I feel like saying I feel very blessed is very cliche, but you guys are an incredible community, and I feel very lucky to have you guys as the community that watches my videos. So, let's see. Where are we? Oh, yeah. All right. Well, now we're at Hank's Corner. Says, as always, love your show. Keep the great work. Thank you so much. It's not much of a show. This was not planned. I have nothing up my sleeves. No idea what's happening. I'm just waiting for one of them to show up so they can present the information against me. Because they said they had it, right? They said they were going to go live with it. Let's do it. Accuse me. Let's go. Laps 19 says, saying you can track a VPN user is hilarious. Your technical understanding. Except I've done that. So, yes, I can track a VPN user. It's time consuming, but it's very doable. Careful, folks. VPNs are trackable. What makes it difficult is when you bounce them through multiple VPNs. That's where it gets tricky. Brian James Ward says, I generally don't understand how someone can get this bent out of shape about people giving their money to a dude on the internet. Same. Zero idea. Like, okay, I get it. Like if I'm lying, right? If I'm saying, oh, I need to buy a boat, and then I spend it on. I'm trying to be family friendly here. It's almost not. And I just go to a casino. I don't know. And be like, oh yeah, that thing I was getting that you guys thought we were donating to. That's not what happened. I blew it all on blackjack. I don't know. That I'd understand. If I was begging, right? If I was getting myself in legal trouble every single day and just begging, like, bail me out, then I could understand the concern. But I don't know what the deal is. Where'd my chat go? My chat just disappeared as I was reading it. There we go. It's back. Okay. Nope, it's gone again. And it's back. What just happened? Anyway, where was I? Did I miss anyone? Oh, I'm so sorry if I missed anyone. Let me know. Artys Corporate Fiction. Hey, thank you. You don't have to do that. It says for the frontline brother. Yeah. Yeah, just, yeah. This is a fight I'm willing to fight. Let's go. Matt Bond, thank you so much. We got you back, Soup. I appreciate it. SK says, if in Scotland they'll give their national insurance number and I can get legal aid in their name, I would have to look into whether or not that is allowed, but I'm not gonna say no if it is. But heck yeah. Any possibilities the window smash in the car is related to all this, asks Demented Paintballer. I sincerely doubt it. I think the window smash was completely unrelated to anything that happens here. I just, wrong place, wrong time, basically. It happened far away from my home. It is highly unlikely that anyone associated that vehicle with me personally or anything I do here. So I don't think of it as a legitimate possibility, although I respect the theory that it might be. Because, it makes sense that it could be. It's just, knowing the facts that I know that, of course, you guys don't know, I think it's not very likely. Although the facts that you guys have obviously don't really refine that information well enough to have that same level of knowledge, of course. So, excellent question. But I don't believe it's related. Rather a steak or In-N-Out, though. Okay, Rennie, I'll get you In-N-Out. Or a steak. Either way. Something will happen. Friday International, good to have you here. Love your stuff, as always. Says, it actually makes people more supportive when you get attacked. I do notice that. It is, I'm not saying these attacks are, without a silver lining. I'm not happy about the attacks. I don't want the attacks. I'd rather not have them. However, watching the community rally behind me is very sort of humbling. And it's fantastic that you guys are here. So, mcaddicts says they'll be in proper trouble if they are in the UK. That's what apparently it's easier to get to win a defamation lawsuit in the UK than it is in the United States. So, I sure hope they're in the UK. And the UK does allow people to sue from outside of the country. So, we will see. Dustin McGee says YouTube's corrupt. Something similar has happened to Dustin, and they won't do anything. I expect that to be a very real possibility. However, I'm just going to bother them a bunch until something happens. Sometimes what you really do have to do is get a lawyer involved to send, on letterhead paper. Like, you need to get involved. But unfortunately, if this is outside the United States, I'd have to get multiple lawyers, and that, So I'm seeing what I can do without that. But if I need to go that far, if this hasn't sort of died down by then, we will see. All right. SK, thank you so much. It says you can stay at my house visiting Scotland. Free breakfast or buckfast. I'm always down for free breakfast. You guys don't know me. I love breakfast. Rod of God. First of all, phenomenal name. I was doing calculations last week on the energy output of a Rod of God for a video I'm doing. You know what? I'm going to talk about that real quick. There's a show called APB that aired on, I want to say Fox, like 2017-ish maybe. And it's basically this like billionaire, sort of a Tony Stark character. His friend gets shot and dies, and the police like take so long to show up. He's like, you know what? I'm basically buying myself a precinct. I'm going to fund them. I'm going to get them new equipment. we're doing things my way. Now, the legality of that aside, there are some issues with some of the equipment, and one of them is a vest, a ballistic vest that they're saying can stop anything that moves under like 60 kilometers a second. 30 kilometers a second? I don't know, something significant. Anything moving under that speed is absurd. And I calculated the energy output of like a 9mm bullet moving that fast, which it would not out of the gun. If it moved that fast, the energy output would be basically getting hit by a car at like 160 miles an hour, or basically like a grenade and a half. Just significant energy output. And then you get into the bigger stuff and go, anything moving slower than that, because a rod from God only moves at Mach 5-ish, I think. But it has a 20 ton of TNT like energy output. I might have these numbers wrong. Don't trust me on these numbers. Significant. For those of you who don't know what a rod from God is, it's a tungsten telephone pole that's dropped from space. And basically the kinetic energy of it not only just is enormous, it is often compared to basically a tactical nuke without the radiation fallout, which is what makes it so exciting. But also, the penetration to bunkers, just absolutely unstoppable. However, the cost of getting one of these up into space, significant, just mind-bogglingly significant. However, you look at like the cost of a F-35, sort of becomes less of a financial issue in comparison. Like, oh yeah, no, we have expensive stuff. $200 million isn't that much to put a tungsten pole in space. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not the one in charge of it. I don't even know if they ever existed. Can't talk about it. Anyway, let me keep going. Do I have any Karen videos? Not at the moment. I have one that I was going to upload today. I could upload in addition to this stream, because this stream is just a bunch of rambling. I had a 40-second video. Just a quick little, look at this guy, trying to commit fraud. Meh, I don't know. Anyway. Oh, Danielle, thank you so much. Says that all the men in her family served. Well, thank you. Well, thank them for their service for me. And thank you for being supportive, of course, of both myself and people in the military. I know plenty of people whose family do not support that. So, it seems like, oh, of course they're going to support it. Well, it doesn't always happen. So, tell me where the rebel base is. Love it. Let me see. Brooke says digesting DeWitt is attacking multiple channels. Maybe this is digesting DeWitt. Someone has claimed that it might be one of our other friends who make Jeremy DeWitt content. Well, there's a concern that I can't hear donations. All right. I wasn't ready. I'm just making my way to the chat. So if you have donated, I'm getting there. So maybe it isn't an attack from a competing channel. I don't like to think of any of these other Jeremy DeWitt channels, as they're sort of known as competing with me. I think that we should all be able to present information. There are some channels that present information a little better than others. There are some that I do suspect of potentially manufacturing information or drama. I don't know that I need to get into it at this time, because I like to stay as neutral as possible. That can easily change. One of them got real close to getting put on the burner. Real close. But we're not going to get into it. I'm past that for now. So, moving on. All right, sorry, my chat is just updated. Let me JPavilion, I feel like we haven't talked in ages. What's up with that? Why are you being a stranger, dog? Thank you so much, though. You don't have to donate. Get out of here, you. I mean, none of you do, technically. All right. back to the donations. Let me get back to that. Harry White asks, and thank you for your donation, by the way, Harry. Says, can you explain how a private citizen, or as a private citizen, how you can get someone's details if they have
That's not a firearm, Sergeant. 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 Sergeant.
Artie, it's like you now with your jump scares, which is genius, by the way. I love it. I cannot as a private citizen. However, if I have a legitimate civil case, I can get an attorney to try to compel a internet provider or someone, Google or the VPN or whatever, whoever's running it, to provide the information. If it's a criminal investigation, basically, as investigators, we would have our attorneys say, you will provide this, otherwise it's obstructing an investigation and you will be facing criminal charges. So civil is a little less of a strong request, but many companies will honor that sort of thing. And then, of course, if you get real involved in it, then, well, I won't go into that. But I've never done anything that required me to actually access the actual IT stuff where I could go searching around. I was basically a request for other companies to give us their information, and they're generally very, very nice about it. And like, yes, we will give it to you. Like, people are like, oh, communicate through WhatsApp. Everything gets deleted. It's end-to-end encryption. Like, no, WhatsApp will definitely send your information if it is requested pursuant to a criminal investigation. They keep that stuff for, a certain amount of time. But I, in my capacity at this desk, could not do it. But if things started rolling and I started paying certain individuals to lawfully write out requests, right? I'm not like paying someone to hack into anything. I'm paying an attorney, right? Essentially. Or a private investigator, because I can't use my company for this. I cannot investigate this under the representation of my company. And I say my company, I work for them. I don't own them. So I'd have to hire a private investigator, which is just kind of embarrassing. Just like I could be doing this, but to do it, it's a whole thing. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it. I don't even remember where I was. We're just rambling. That's what I do. Shawn Vest, thank you so much. Says, take my money and like it. Dang it. I will like it. I do. Thank you. But let me see. DeepFried Zee, thank you so much. DeepFried Zee says, thanks for the entertainment. Keep it the good stuff. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Gia, good to have you here. Thank you so much. Says, being kind is just easier. Yeah. Being kind is, I wish more people were. And sometimes I should probably be a little kinder, but here we are. I try to be nice. It doesn't always work. Hello, Mark Eggington. I'm sorry. Hi to the UK and you in there as well. Anyway, can you still order the varsity jackets? I believe so. It should still be up. If it's not, let me know. I'll put it back up. There's all sorts of stuff on the Etsy now. All sorts of good stuff. But this shirt, this shirt's still a great shirt. I'd sell these on my channel or my Etsy if I could, but I didn't make this one. Andy, I'm glad you caught the stream. This one's just me rambling about basically what's happening on my channel, all these community posts I've been making. I don't think it's going to be terribly entertaining, but it should be informative at the very least. I'm just hoping, frankly, or whoever's behind the Frankly account, the CP account, or the two accounts that are pretending to be me, or were pretending to be me before they got deleted, or the one under the name homosexual, or the one under the name Mr. US. I'm hoping they show up and provide all that evidence they say they have against me. It's weird, though, that every time someone says they have all this evidence against me, they don't. And I think they're often taken aback by how willing I am to, let them present it. I want to see it, too. I've never seen it before. I want to know how well they manufactured it. MSCP is some guy who is upset that I accepted donations, and when the community was like, "No, you're being ridiculous," decided that the best course of action would be to accuse me of rape and domestic violence, possibly child pornography. That one might not be true. I don't remember if that one's something someone suggested they were accusing me of or they actually accused me of. It was definitely rape and domestic violence that they accused me of. I've never done that. I've never been accused of that. I've never been investigated for that. So, if they have evidence, I'd love to see it because it is news to me. Clone accounts being made by digesting DeWitt, pretending to be other fans of the creators, and he says negative things. Well, I mean, that's consistent with what is happening here. Marianne, I'm glad you love the jokes. But Josh G says, I got in late. Does this have anything to do with the CP character that donates to complain about you getting donations? Very possibly. Very possibly. There seems to be a connection. Buckfast, my God. Breakfast of 2, of course. Either way, I'm in. Just reading through the comments. Not super exciting. I know, I'm sorry. This is a rambling. Twinge, thank you so much. Wait. JPavilion, did it reset? Did you... Oh, no. I think I just ran by your comment again. I don't know what's happening. It just keeps updating and like I lose my spot. It's fine. It's fine. Twinge, right back at you. Twinge sent me a little thumbs up. But let me keep... Nomadic Wanderer, I appreciate that. Nomadic Wanderer says I'm not a Jeremy DeWitt channel. That is fair. I was not initially a Jeremy DeWitt channel. I became a Jeremy DeWitt channel, understanding that it was a very temporary thing. It became much less temporary than I thought it would, and now I'm trying to move on to other things. And I'm having a lot of fun moving on to other things because I'm very much burnt out on going through all of DeWitt's nonsense. But we still have people like Fraudy International Operations who's getting some fantastic video from body cameras about what DeWitt has been up to recently. And there's some stuff in there that is just, it's great. Check out their channel. Their channel's great. They've done an excellent job finding that stuff. Corrections. I want to say I ran into this one already. But thank you again just in case. It just keeps resetting my comments. I have to go find it. So if I didn't thank you already, thank you. And if I did, or this is second, I don't even know what I'm saying. It's good to have you all here. Guess who? Tor is better. Technically. But not perfect. Anyway, reading. Asher, thank you so much. So needed a sassy, rambling BB chat today. Oh, I'm glad you guys appreciate it. For those of you who might be just joining, I'm just waiting for the guy who's making these accusations against me to show up. Because they were active when I started, you know. So where are they? They have all the evidence against me. Have they? They haven't. Have they left me a message? I don't think so. 1 second. Rennie likes to send me messages when I'm being stupid, or just give me information and updates on whatever I'm talking about, which is why I pull out my phone sometimes. It's just the easiest way for her to contact me live. Because if it's in the chat, I might miss it. If it's on my computer, I might not. I've got a lot of stuff running to make all this happen, usually. So I don't want to be like disrespectful. Be like, oh, you guys hold on. Let me take this text. It's from her. So I was just checking in with what she's sending me. Guess who? I know. PI hiring another PI. It's embarrassing. I hate the idea of it. Hank's Corner, thank you so much. As I'm waving at your haters, but I'm only using one finger. I mean, why not use two on different hands? I'm not judging. All right. Rennie's blowing me up. Oh, okay. I see. All right. You guys don't know what that was about, but I do, and Rennie does. Not a problem. Oh, Asher, you have the Merb shirt? I made that just so it existed. There are a few things on my Etsy that exist just to exist. Not because I expect anyone to buy them. I love that it has been bought, though. For those of you who don't know about the Merb thing, Merb, I like to call him Merb 34th Street. Merb Beast, he's an attorney, he practices family law, and he got real mad at me for daring to suggest that it is illegal to film a restricted military installation, despite the fact that it 100% is. Now, there are arguments to be made about, how it would hold up constitutionally in court, of course, but he made a bunch of videos that were, designed to be fairly insulting, in which he got quite a bit of information wrong, which was very satisfying. So I got to be like, actually, no. He didn't like that. But, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm becoming him. I don't like the idea of it. I'm not saying he's a bad person. He just is not someone I'm interested in associating with. And I think that he thinks more highly of himself than maybe he should. And so I made a shirt that had like a definition, Merb, an attorney has 1 year of experience and doesn't really know what they're talking about. But was that fair of me? I don't know. Contextually, if you had seen the whole situation, I feel like it makes more sense. Right now, it just sounds like I'm being an asshole, but he earned it. He worked hard for the creation of that shirt. I'll tell you that. But there are other things like stuff I've made about DeWitt. I don't actually expect anyone to buy. I just like the idea of it existing. Because he earned it. He earned its existence. Does that make me a bad person? Maybe. But I am a person. I'm a human being. I have my flaws. Anyway. Oh, pelmets. Thank you so much. Good to have you here, of course. Pelmets says, greetings from the Titusville, Florida, home of nature, space, and history. Thank you for your service to our country. You have a great community, and we all stand by you and your integrity. Thank you so much. And thanks to everyone for being here, listening to me just spout out nonsense while we wait to see if anyone actually shows up for the next 13 minutes. JPavilion says, want to chat with me on the stream? If not, let's plan a live stream in the future. Let's do a live stream because I do have to get back to some stuff in about 13 minutes. But let's plan a live stream in the future for sure. Thank you so much for your donation. It's a whole thing. Guess who? Do they even know your name? Not to a degree that would allow them to get the information they're claiming to have on me. So I would say no. My best guess is no. They said, maybe this will ring a bell. TW. Like, it literally does not. When I'm like, you don't have anything. You don't have an ex-girlfriend of mine. I've never ended a relationship in a manner that would leave anyone, like, wanting to do me harm. I'm fairly proud of, the lack of drama I've had with the ending of relationships. And that, don't get me wrong, there has been drama. But I think at this point in time, everyone's on good terms with me, I would hope. TW does not ring a single bell. So I'm very excited to find out what the deal is. I assume we won't. I assume it's never going to happen. But Hank's Corner asks if I've seen Artys Jump Scare Fest 2021. I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard of it. I know of it. It's been recommended to me. For those of you who don't know about Artys Corporate Fiction is a channel that goes over a lot of really fun, Karens, sovereign citizens, First Amendment auditors, other things as well. Some interesting legal situations. He has a much stronger background in law than I do. I want to say Artie has a law degree. I'm fairly certain that's true. So he brings a really nice perspective to everything. And I think his streams are a lot of fun. And I try to pop in when I can. But what he does is he has donations that when you hit the donation mark, it does a jump scare for him, which I think is hilarious. And so apparently there's a stream where he kept getting hit by it, which I believe is what's being referenced. So yeah, it's great. He does. Okay. My real name is Green Eggs and Ham. I like that, Port Canadian. William Flattery. Wait. Wasn't that... Yeah, Rennie knows my full name. She has my address. By accident. I accidentally sent her a thing. I was like, what do we think about, this? And it had my name on it. And yeah, fortunately, she's very trustworthy. She's the only person that has, like, my full information. Some of you have some information. She has all of it. So if you want to harass her for it, don't. But yeah, I don't know. If any of you are like, why don't you tell us what units you were in? And there is information out there about, which unit I was in. Why don't you tell us these dates? Why don't you tell us, where you live? Why don't you tell us what kind of car you drive? What's your license plate number? Not that people are asking like that. The reason I don't do that is because of people like the ones we're dealing with right now. The people who are pretending that there are, allegations against me. I have provided certain individuals enough information, not about who I am, but what unit I was with back in the early days of my channel, where they contacted my unit and tried to get me hit with like an Article 15, just because they were mad that I was telling them they were wrong. They were saying I was never a soldier, and then they're using information from the 80s. So I assume they were military, which is why they went so hard at me. And I think they were a little old, maybe a little senile. I don't know. They certainly earned that descriptor. And they're like, your information is wrong. You're lying. That MLS doesn't exist. That base isn't where MPs train. This isn't how that works. That's not how ranks work. And like, well, all of your information is from the 80s. It updated in 85. The ranks updated, I think, in 85. Leonard Wood became the training base for MPs in 99, I think. So, like, all of their information is old. I assume Vietnam vets. And they just would not accept that. Like, you only served for 3 years as an MP. No, it's a minimum 5-year commitment with 3 years inactive. It's 5 years to be an MP. When you go active MP, it's a 5-year commitment, active duty. And they're like, nope, it's 3. I literally contacted not usurer, the retention command. I forget what it's called. I emailed them. I said, hey, can you confirm that it is 5 years? They went, yes, it is 5 years. I sent them the email, said, email these people. And they still wouldn't back down. I gave them literally irrefutable proof. I got an MP to confirm that my documents were real. On base. We set it up properly and appropriately, and everything was done correctly. And they went, all right, cool. And they just went so hard. Like, even after I established, no, I am legitimate beyond a reasonable doubt, they still went after me. And so after that, I was like, nope, you guys don't get anything now. Nobody gets anything now. I cannot trust a single person. Except for Rennie, but that's by accident. So far, she's proving herself. So, for those of you who are like, why don't you share all of this stuff? Because I did once, and I got burned. Because people don't actually care if you are able to provide the information. If they're trying to hurt you, they will hurt you. They don't care about facts. When they're like that, they do not care. They're not looking for your information to be proven wrong. They're looking for your information to continue to do a better job of trying to hurt you. So I just don't give it anymore. I learned. Anyway. But I digress. And should I be giving them attention? Probably not. But I'm going to. Because I think you guys deserve to see what's happening. Because this is happening. Pneumatic Wanderer says, let me build you a new PC already. I'm hoping to. Because my PC... I'm trying to get one of the graphics cards. I'm trying to get one of the 30 series. I got 3060 to 3080. But they are tough to find. Richard Colt says he just joined. What's the story? Basically, a bunch of people are making up fake allegations against me, claiming that they have evidence that I never served the military, evidence that I was investigated for domestic abuse and or rape, claiming they found an ex-girlfriend of mine who will tell the real story. And so I went live to be like, all right, tell it. Tell it. Let's go. I'm waiting. They haven't shown up. It's so weird. Almost like they're scared. Dan, thank you so much for asking. Is there anything we can do to help? Just don't believe it. And look, I'm not going to tell you not to do your own investigation to whether or not this might be accurate. I'm not trying to hide anything. But grain of salt. If you see anything crazy, grain of salt. Think, does this feel right? Make your own decisions based on the information that is present. But that's what's happening. Kay Lee, that's fair. How many surgeons do you know that operate on themselves? They usually hire another surgeon. Didn't the first guy who did like a heart surgery do it on himself because no one else would do it? I don't know. I've known surgeons that have like stitched themselves up. I don't know if that counts though. But Squat Code asks, in Washington, can you hire a PI to follow anyone? Would there have to be a reason, like a spouse cheating or employee suspected of fraud? Every time I am paid to follow someone, there is a reason for it. I don't believe there does have to be a reason. If I'm being paid to follow someone, I'm being paid to follow someone. Legally, I'm not a threat to them, therefore it's not really harassment. However, whoever hired me to do it, they can be held civilly liable for, harassing activities, or potentially criminally liable, depending on what legal documentation or paperwork is already in place. For example, if they have a no contact order or protection order of some sort, and they send me after someone, that's not going to fly. They're going to be in a lot of trouble. Not me, though. I'm just being paid to do a thing. Unless, of course, I know that was the intent, in which case I'm also on the hook. But, you can pay someone to do it. Your intentions are important, though, when it comes to potential legal or civil repercussions against you. I believe. Kim, thanks so much. Says, still waiting for you to come to Calgary and that ride-along. Stay at our place. We have lots of room. I hope it happens. I'd love to do that. But, good old Patrick Johnson. We were probably stationed at Fort Lewis at the same time. I might have pulled you over. No, you might have known me. You might have seen me doing my thing. I was there 2014 onwards to... When did I get out? 2018, I think? I was there for a while. It's still looking good. It's looking better, actually. They got a bunch of really great new food. They just changed up the PX. When I'm in that area, I like to pop by and grab some Charlies, put in the Wahlburgers. They have a Texas Longhorn Steakhouse. Is that right? They have something. It's nice. It's better than it was, I like to think. Oh, okay. Gotcha. It's a delightful. Can you use PayPal and Patreon? That I do not know, but I'm not going to stop you. But, Artie, you have VR? Artie, I have VR. That might have to be a thing. Anyway, all right. I think I've caught up. Am I caught up? Please tube, thank you for your donation. Is there anyone else I missed? Oh, right up your alley. Thank you so much. Says, would you ever do a stream with Schrodinger's cat? Schrodinger's cat. I've been watching too much 14th Amendment audit. One-stop 14th Amendment audit shop, because he was calling us. Anyway, I would love to. It's just a matter of timing. We almost did it, but schedules didn't match up, and I've just both been busy. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything. Shook, I got it. Any other questions? I don't think he's showing up. I don't think it's happening. I don't think the person. Dan. Yeah. Well. Okay, it did work. All right. That's creepy. Anyway, I forgot I had that for a second because I just been. It was the old ramble. Boy. What game did Artie play with the VR headset? I'm all about that. I play so much Pavlov. Oh my god. It's so good. Why is JD back in jail? Asked Squat Code. Because he was accused of domestic violence, and it got his bonds, at least one of them, revoked. So now he gets to wait in jail. Womp womp. Running shooter. Ooh. With bombs. I'll have to watch it. Good old. Did the moron agree to a certain time? No, he was just like, oh, Tuesday. I'm like, let's do it now. And then I just like went live because he was leaving comments, but he's been real silent all of a sudden. So, weird. Let me just check real quick, see if they're doing anything. Disarming bombs, puzzle game. Oh, keep talking, nobody explodes. I bet is what it was. That sounds right. Oh, thanks, please, Tube, and thank you for the donation. You are correct. It did tip over. Someone. It was a gift. That'd be funny to put on there. Keep talking, nobody explodes. See, I know a thing or two. Me. Nope. I don't think they're commenting. Those. Yeah, they get real quiet because he's like, "Oh, you're scared. You're scared of that information. You're scared of the evidence." Like, I'm not. Let's go. I'm literally begging you for it. I want to see it. I'm excited. It doesn't exist. But now, look, here I am being like, give it to me. Give me the evidence. Man. Rachel Williams, thank you so much. Says, you finally made it. You've got stalkers. Yay. I don't know. I get stalkers every once in a while. Like this type of thing will happen every once in a while. Where someone gets mad and they try to go after me and it never ends well. But, yeah. Dan, thank you so much. Good old Canada. Good old Canada. I heard someone singing the Canadian national anthem yesterday wrong. I just wanted to shake them. Like, I'm from Canada, and they sang the first line, and they like you didn't even get the first line right. It's all right. I mean, they're whatever. It's not my business. I just thought it was funny. You're from Canada. I feel like you'd appreciate it. But yeah, any other questions before I get out of here? Because it's been an hour and nothing happened. Nothing happened. It's been over an hour. It's been an hour and 3 minutes, and they didn't show up. So I guess yeah. That's it. Master Start retired. Oh, I left a little a request in your Discord about. I remember there being paperwork about Jeremy trying to join the National Guard, and the recruiter was like, hey, like I'll approve a waiver. I'll sign a waiver if it gets approved. I'm wondering if we still have that floating around. I thought you might be someone who might have it. So it's good to see you here. If you don't, no issues. There's a guy on Reddit called Blackie. Some people pronounce it Black Guy. I guess he wants it pronounced Blackie. I don't know. And he was like, we don't actually know. Jeremy never served. And I want to put together a very comprehensive list of why we know that he never served. And that was one of the documents I was trying to find. I know it exists somewhere. I do not remember where it exists. It might have been on the Jeremy DeWitt case website back in the day, and I don't remember finding anything on the Wayback Machine. I didn't look that hard, but it might be there. Just if If you have it, fantastic. If you don't, not a problem. I'll keep searching. I'm sure we have it saved somewhere. We have so much stuff. I just don't remember where anything is organized anymore. Hank's Corner, thank you so much again. Says you might have to help CP extract the evidence from his fourth point of contact. Oh, spicy. But yeah. Clown World, thank you so much. You pissing so much breakfast. Apparently I did. My bad. I'm sorry that I said that I don't believe I'm sexist for reviewing Karen compilations. You know. Who is CP? Asked Tom Hunter. Thank you so much. First of all, Tom Hunter. CP is a channel a while back decided they didn't like the fact that some people donate money, as you have generously just done. And they were so upset that nobody agreed with them that they falsely accused me of rape and domestic violence. And then they backed down because they had no evidence of it. And I kept calling them out. And they disappeared. And then other channels started popping up, which seemed to be connected, potentially, to CP. We had two accounts that were my name and my image, trying to start something. Those went away very quick, interestingly. We have a channel called Homosexual, and we have a channel called Mr. US, or Mr. American flag emoji. On the computer, it says Mr. US. On a phone, it will show Mr. and then a flag, for the record. So this appears to be all conducted by one person. They said they had all this evidence, so much evidence. Oh my God, evidence I didn't serve in the military, evidence that I was a bully, evidence that I'm, domestic violence, whatever. And they say that they have an ex-girlfriend of mine to confirm it all, which is not true. They're like, just the initials TW ring a bell? No, it doesn't. But good try. Anyway, good to have you here, Nasty Nathaniel. Who else? I was about to sign off, and a bunch of people jumped in. Like, what's happening? So. But anyway, any other questions? Hit me with it. He got right at the end, Master Sergeant. But it's good to have you here. It's good to see you around again. Always fun to have you, at the head of the spear when it comes to Jeremy's stolen valor. Just disappointing that, the state and the federal government's just like, But I don't think that time has been wasted. I'm not unhappy with us looking into it like we did. Certainly you more than me. I applaud you for the effort you put into it. Pelmets, thank you so much. Beer and burger on you. You know I can't say no to that. Of course I will. Do it in a wig. That's who's going to show up. I don't think anyone's going to show up. Clown World, thank you so much. Says ready for the new song. I had a new song. Not a musical, just a parody. But now that DeWitt's in jail, it's just doesn't have the same impact. Not that I want to harass him or anything. Once this is all over, I'll tell you guys all about it, I think. Because there's still a potential that maybe I'll get to use it. But, there's so much stuff I have that will probably never see the light of day. Which is where my Patreon comes in, because I'll often put that stuff on there. If you want to check out Patreon, Sergeant Blue Bacon or something. And I try to update it every once in a while. Usually I update it in just bursts where I just throw on 5 things at once and then radio silence for 2 weeks, which is not the way to do it. It's not how it should be done. But yeah, we'll get there. There's still stuff. There's still stuff to be made. I got a lot of really fun parody songs. Some about sovereign citizens. Some are about various police things, like what you should do during a traffic stop. What your First Amendment rights actually are. That sort of thing. Delilah? That's That's a fun way to spell it. I like that. I think I got that right. Thank you so much. How's the exchange rate on my Canadian tax dollars? Oh, Halifax. Oh, good old Halifax. Halifax. Da, 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 da. There's an old YouTube video. It's the little Halifax song. I don't remember what it was, but I do remember Halifax because of it. Thank you so much. Let's see. And that's the thing. Asks, how did I get to be so damn handsome? Well, first of all, my parents had a pretty big influence, and then good diet and exercise is something I try to do and rarely succeed at. It's all about the camera angles and the lighting. That's, yeah. Gets the cheekbones all nice. Oh, Master Aren't retired. Karma is a bitch. You're not wrong. And he's certainly being hit with it. All the stuff that's being filed in the courts about him, having to get pictures taken of his arms in the request for him to be tried as a habitual offender. And they're like, yes, plea deal? Is that still on the table? Yeah, it's coming. I'm a little disappointed because I was really excited to see him, the defense and the prosecution butt heads. But honestly, this is better. I mean, not from an entertainment perspective, but as a, application of law, I think this is more appropriate. There's certainly benefits. Police Tube, thank you so much. Says, do you tell people what you do for a living? I am unaware. Yes, professionally, I am an investigator of the private type, private investigator. I go and I investigate things. And I'll tell you guys, being a private investigator is mostly just sifting through information. It's a great job. I love it. But it sounds really cool. And sometimes it has its moments, let me tell you. But a lot of it's just, all right, here's all this information that the police weren't going to go through. So I'm being paid to go through it, right? Or I'm being paid to be in this spot for this reason. I won't go into detail because I'm not really supposed to. Now that I can't, I just don't want my boss to be like, hey, you'd said too much about that case. So it's a good gig. It's fun. A lot less intense when compared to criminal investigations because you don't have the same... The level is different. I would like the repercussions, the consequences, what you're bringing upon someone. Much less. You're much less involved. You're much more detached, and it's really nice. It's like a little vacation, right? I still get to do it, but it's much more. Let me just relax. I love it. Danny B asks, can you shed light on why PDs are reluctant to share /post body cam /dash cam where they border on obstruction, FOIA? I've never been involved in FOIA. That is not something I dealt with. We had an entire department. And by entire department, I mean one person. But they had an department. They had people helping them, etc. But it's basically one person, civil affairs or public affairs office, or I don't know. There's one person that dealt with all of that. And so I honestly couldn't tell you because there was no way for me to obstruct the release of that evidence. Sometimes it can't be released because the investigation's ongoing. Sometimes it's in public interest where basically it reveals too much information that the public is not supposed to be aware of. For example, let's say we had an incident on a base, JBLM, and an officer was wearing a body cam, which generally they don't. And there was actually a big incident on JBLM where an officer started wearing a body camera, but didn't let the prosecution defense know, which is a violation of, I forget what law. If I heard it, I'd know it. Basically, if you have that evidence, it is required to be, presented in the case or given to the defense because it exists, the mere existence of it. And they weren't doing that. And so they got in a lot of trouble. And this was an officer with like 20 years of experience. He just thought, well, if the department's not going to pay for it, I will. And then he didn't follow a procedure that he was not aware of because there's no reason for him to be aware of it at his level. The problem is he made a decision that he also was not really authorized to make. And legal just was like, no, you've just ruined every single case that you've had that occurred after you started wearing that body camera. Every one of them has to be dismissed. And so I don't know if he lost his job or what. I stopped seeing him around. So that can be it. Anyway, so body camera, back to that. If there was like inside a special forces compound, you cannot film inside a special forces compound. It's very restricted. And so that footage would not be released to the public, almost certainly. So something like that, in my case, anyway. And so I assume, like, out in the civilian world, similar things where, it all happened inside someone's house and their privacy, there's an expectation to it, and the public should not, does not need to be aware of it if the person whose home it is does not want it released. Maybe it's something like that. I don't know. I wish I could answer better, but I was never in charge of the release of that footage. It was never something that I ever had a say in. And so it's not something I ever really looked into because it just wasn't relevant to me, unfortunately. Let me see what else. Dan, the thing I'm dealing with is an issue of defamation. I could try to argue that it is criminal harassment, but I'm not taking the appropriate steps to indicate that that is actually what is occurring on my end, because there actually is a duty for me to engage in certain activities to establish that it is harassment. For example, telling them to stop, not responding to them, blocking them, that sort of thing. So if I want it to be harassment, if I want to file that charge, I'd say, do not contact me again. I would block whatever channels are involved, and then I would never respond to anyone I suspected to be them. And I would just document it, and I would move it on to an investigator who would then, compile it into a case, and then the prosecutor would decide whether or not to press charges. And then, court, etc., whatever. That is not something that's happening. It's probably not the route I'm going to go, because a civil suit will potentially allow me to maintain more anonymity, because I'd like to file this anonymously, basically as a representative of this channel, because I feel like I can articulate, if these people are harassing me, what happens when they know who my family is? What happens when they have my address? What happens when they have all that stuff? Shouldn't be hard. But criminal case, I don't want to do that because I have less control. A civil case, I have a lot more control. It's more expensive, but I have control. Criminal case, prosecuting authority has control. The police control it. The state controls it. The county controls it. Someone else controls it. So that's basically the issue there. From their end, the culprits file a police report. I just went on a rant that was completely, sorry, I keep hitting my microphone, completely unrelated to the question. On their end. Which culprits are we talking about? Brady violation? That might be it. That sounds right. No, it was a Jinx violation or Jenks violation. That's what it was. That's. Hold on. That's what I remember them saying. Was that one or was it a different one? Jinx violation. Jinx I could be completely wrong. Yes, the Jenks Act. Jenks materials evidence that is used in the course of a federal criminal prosecution usually consists of documents relied upon by government witnesses who testify at trial. The reason was because he was using that footage to write his reports, but not providing it as the reference footage. I think that's why it was a Jenks Act violation. That was why he got in trouble. I don't have all the details, but I remember that was what they were using, and that's what they like. It was kept very hush hush. Some people gave me just a little bit of information because we weren't really. It was like, hey, it happened. You don't need to know because you're not involved. The people who need to know. Don't be nosy. I'm like, what? With this nose? Come on. I can't help it. Anyway. Little Rude Shosh, thank you so much. I'll have to put something on there soon. I have stuff to put on there. I just haven't, not recently. I'm a bad person for it. Did the culprits file a police report was the question. Angry Junk Bumblebees, before we get into that, again, love your name, as always. It says, late joiner due to meetings, it's time to deploy Metro State International Special Forces to 50-50 them. Only then will they figure it out real quick, or else they'll be negative 37 in no time. Love your work. Love that comment. Phenomenal. Sorry, it's a weird time for me to do it. I didn't announce this. I know. I'm sorry. I don't think the culprits filed a police report, Dan, in the context of the thing. Dan, it says in Canada, when there's a breach of privacy, the privacy commissioner sues for you. Is that still? I'm lost. I'm sorry. I'm lost. Oh, the culprits as in. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep a bunch of people in my brain of who's saying what. The people who filed against, or the people who are making the claims against me, no, I don't believe they filed anything. They're saying that they found things that have been filed. Nothing has ever been filed. I do not know what they're talking about. So, and apparently they're not going to show up. James K says, Blue has decided Tom Cruise is too short despite the overwhelming similar appearance. I believe that's in reference to who would play me in a movie. I don't know. Tom Cruise is a great actor. Like, wow. Him doing his own stunts, fantastic. Scientology. And he's short. Not that he's bad. Like, being short is wrong. It's just, I don't know. I don't like the idea of taking a short actor and making them taller as if taller is better. Right. Now, some people prefer tall, but I don't think your height determines, how good of you are of a person or how much I should respect you. I don't think there's anything wrong with a man being shorter than a woman being shorter than a man. I don't think that it's that important. And I understand that when you have a movie, you have to sell it, right? It is advertising, basically. You have to make it appeal to people. And culturally right now, tall men are better. That is how it is advertised. I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying that's how it's advertised. So I understand why they do it. If he's going to play me, I don't want him, on, platform shoes, on boxes. I want him as he is. Because I think that's maybe a direction we should move towards as a society. I don't know. Personal opinion. But I'd also like someone who is about my height. Because if someone's going to portray me, I want it to be accurate. And I think that if he was portrayed as his actual height, I think that people would be like, well, is Blue that height? And I'm like, well, now I have to address that. I don't have to. I don't know. That's why I'm like, but he's the wrong height. It's stupid. I know it's stupid. But I feel like that would, for some reason, cause I don't know. I'm just, I ramble. I like being tall. It's nice. I can reach things on shelves. Am I just, is that an absurd thing to think? Like, he should be proud of his height. People should not think less of him for his height. But then I'm like contradicting myself, being like, but I like my height, which is tall. I feel like I'm being very sort of contradictory about how it should be. But it's not so much like, oh, I like my height. It's just that I know that people would have an issue with it. And I don't, if there was, not that there would be a movie about me. I'm taking this way too seriously. I don't want that to be something that, like, is distracting. Weirdly. I know. I feel like it's a dumb thing. I'm still going on about it. I'm sure Rennie's telling me to shut up. Oh, no, she's making jokes about high-heeled Scientologists. But, I think I'm just being stupid with that statement, and that my statement is just contradicts itself, and etc. But I'm not perfect. I would love Bruce Campbell to do it. I respect Bruce Campbell. And that jaw, bam. kill you with that jaw. Yeah, I also feel like, who said it? Asher brings up a point that Tom Cruise has a bit of a reputation for not being the nicest person. I'm proud of what I perceive to be my friendliness. I think I'm friendly. I'm not going to be like, I am friendly and you better believe it. I try to be. Certainly I don't always succeed, but I try to make that sort of the default. I don't know that Tom Cruise does, but I mean, socially, he's in a very different place than me. He's very rich. He's, constantly bombarded, by people. I can understand why he'd be a little short with him. Why, he'd be very curt, very like, I'm not dealing with this, right? I'm a professional. I'm here to do a job. I'm not here to, sign autographs. Like, take me to the cameras. I understand that. But there are other actors I feel do it better. Where they still are like, I would love to. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I have to do things, but thank you so much. Like for But I'm hearing rumors or tensions in the chat. I do want to warn you again. Just bring it down a little bit. Keanu Reeves is great. I think maybe he's a better action star than he's an actor. I don't know. I'm very biased against him, basically only because of the Dracula movie he was in. I think he just like finished shooting a different movie. He was just drained, and his complaint was that he didn't have the energy to devote to the performance he wanted to give, and I respect that. But that movie was so good, and then he was there, and it was just like, there's something off here. He was phenomenal in Constantine. I loved him in Constantine, but he has a very specific sort of style he fits into. Love him. I think he's just an incredible person, and I love his movies. I really do. But I don't think he'd be a great fit. Anyway, Mark Wahlberg, he's a little intense to be me, I think. But I can't reach the top shelf. That's what chairs are for. Fair. That's fair. Carl Marino from Homicide Hunter. I don't know why I got caught up in the word Carl and just rolled with it and it got weird. Carl Marino. I'd take that. Yeah, I'd let that happen. Who's he standing there with? Who is this? Oh, good for him. You guys don't get to know what I'm looking at. Oh, obviously, Carl Marino. The photos of him. He looks better than me without a shirt. I will tell you that. So if he's depicting me, it better be shirtless. Anyway, James K, thank you. Bradley Cooper and Sam Elliott as Master Sergeant retired. I approve that message. Thank you, James. I approve that one. But and Dan, thank you so much. Ben Affleck, he's growing on me. I don't know. For a long time, I was like, Ben Affleck. But I mean, he's been through some stuff recently, and seeing him just be out there and being a normal human being, be like, I don't care. Like, I'm gonna live my life. It's kind of nice, kind of refreshing. I watched some interviews of him, and I was like, oh, he seems like a pretty all right guy. He's growing on me. I didn't have a reason to dislike him. I just didn't. I was like, okay. I don't know why. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here because obviously nobody's gonna show up to present the evidence. So John Krasinski, I would take. Yes, absolutely. And Master Sergeant, I will look for those files. Everyone else, hey, thank you so much for showing up. As I rambled through a bunch of nonsense, waiting for someone to show up with all this evidence against me and the alleged crimes I've committed, which didn't happen, unfortunately. A shame. So next time they call me a coward, I'll just link this video. But Mark Harmon's a good choice as well. But you guys are great. Thank you guys so much for being so incredibly supportive. All of you, every single one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am just so proud of the community that has gathered with this channel. That's not the word I'm looking for. Gathered around this channel. That has been built from my nonsensical ramblings into a microphone and a camera. Thank you so much. And Radine, thank you so much for that donation. And with that, I'm ending it here. I'm cutting it. We hit 1:30 on the dot right there. So until the next time, everyone, and The Rock, I would love it. May not be the best choice. But hey, thank you guys so much. And I'll keep fighting that good fight. And we'll see what they have to say next. So until the next time, be good, stay safe. And I'm going to pause for the appropriate amount of time, because last time I caught it early.